So here's the part here. It came in a package with a part number on it. In case you want to know what the part number is, there it is. I hope you can read that. But that's part number and the details, the barcode, everything. And this is a genuine bit, and it's called the gang sensor, seemingly. And that's it. So it's a plug that goes into your feed up to your ECU and everything, and that's the bit that bolts on and picks up what gear you're in. So I'm hoping this is what's going. Now, if you do need one of these, I looked online and getting a genuine KTM one from KTM Australia was going to cost me $250, $300, something like that. I looked at ordering one for Europe, but it was costing the same with shipping and everything. I got this for about $120, and it's a genuine part by ordering it from the United States. I just went online. It was who is it? Through, I think it was through eBay, but it came from America, and I thought, you know what, $120 including shipping. So I just ordered it, and because it's coming from America, it took about a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks to come. But $120, less than half price. So yeah, so I'm going to try and fit this today, see if this fixes the problem. Let's hope it does. It's amazing a wee thing like that can cause such a problem. What I'm going to do is disconnect my battery first. Because with these KTMs, if you disconnect the battery and leave it for half an hour, like take both leads off, leave it for half an hour and let the ECU actually lose any, because there's wee capacitors in the ECU and they can hold a current and it holds a memory. If you disconnect it and earth both your terminals onto the bike, what it does is it releases the voltage from the capacitor, and it says if you do it for 30 minutes it'll wipe out the ECU and it'll reset itself back to factory settings. Also tells you if you do that, when you start it up, tell it to tick over for 15 minutes and it sets up the idle for you. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll maybe try it tomorrow and see how it goes. And then after that you're fine. It's funny leaving a bike sitting idling for 15 minutes though, yes. It's a kind of worry. Anyway, we'll go on with this and see how it goes. So there we go. Live terminals off, earth terminals off, and I've clipped them all together so as any voltage left in any capacitor in the bike will drain itself. So I'll go and get some tools. I bought these the other day, star key set. I thought it'd be quite handy for working on the bike, you know, for doing jobs like this. So if you're a regular viewer to the channel, I've been out and bought myself another helmet for the welder, for the wee MIG welder, because I'm going to be replacing the cells on the Falcon at some point, but not today, because I'm still waiting on them to arrive. So today I'm going to get this done in here and get this sensor changed over. So these new tools I got, a bit much easier. It'd actually be a good idea to carry a set of these around on the bike. Clutch is in the way. Got to take this off before. Which isn't a big task. Right. That's fine. Yeah. Now, I have to take, remember correctly, I need to take the kickstand off as well. Let's see, Mr. Kickstand, it's a bigger size. Oh Jesus! So the ones that hold the side stand on are pretty well on. So this one was pretty tight and I couldn't get it with my torques. Oh, that's it. Bloody hell, didn't want to come off. And that should be the kickstand off. Now, come on, I'll show you. That is it up here. This is the wee gadget. So the bolts holding that sensor in were a wee bit jiggered. So I had to get my, what is it you call it, onto it. My, Jesus, the name's going out of my head. Impact driver. So you put that on and you whack it and it actually turns it. So as it's pushing in, it's turning at the same time. Takes its screws that you would never have gotten out previously. So that's that done. I need to take this wee cover off to get into the plug. Coming off nicely, thank goodness. Now, come on, take the screws in, it'll come off easier. Yeah. And here is the plug, just up down there. So I just need to unplug that, plug a new one in and screw it down. I'll need to see if I've got new screws to replace the ones that are buggered. The thing just slapped out. I put these torque bits into slacking it and it wasn't torque bits, it was Allen screws. Anyway, it knackered them, so I'll need to get another couple of screws. Anyway, I'll go and unplug this and then take the thing off. I'll redo it again with cable ties, but just make sure it's not so tight. So here's the old one. There's another cable tie here. Let's have a wee look. There's a cable tie at the bottom of this, holding all this together so that it's folded up, you know, like that. The cable tie in there, but it's like I say, these cable ties are too tight. It can cause just as much problems. Anyway, I'm going to snip this outer casing off and have a wee look and see if I can see any damaged wire, because maybe the thing's okay. But I've got a new one now, so a new one will go on it. Anyway, I'll go away and cut the rest of this cable off and see if I can find a fault inside. I've had a look at this cable, I've stripped the sheath off it. Can't see any damage, but then again, there's a squash bit down here but you can't really see what is done inside on the cable. But it might be just this is gone. You know, it's had its day. Anyway, I'll go check a new one. I'll clean all this off, get it all ready for the new part, and then we'll get it put back on. Well, that's it back together. Everything's in. This wire's hanging down a wee bit. Oh, I just have to rewrite that somewhere. The cable tie up to there. That'll be alright. It's not hitting the exhaust or anything, so not so bad. It's just the one that goes to the sensor and the kickstand. So, it's getting dark now. Doesn't it look it on the camera, but it's getting dark. I can hardly see. I'm just going to stick my battery on and see if that's done the trick. Fingers crossed. Back in a sec. Well, before I clean this assortment of tools up, nothing's ever easy. Now, where have I put my keys? Let me find my, there they are in my pocket. I'll just put the ignition on and see if the gear selectors came back. Oh, excuse me while I set my clock. Well, that's no worked. As you can see, there's still no gear sign. I'll maybe need to put my code reader onto it. I've got a fancy one. Put it onto it and see if I can reset that somehow. But I'll get it started tomorrow. I'll give it a run. I mean, it might start working, because it's not been working. It might think it's still not working, so I'll give it a run tomorrow and see how it goes. But KTMs. Oh dear, if you like plottering about with bikes, fixing them and things like that, KTM's a bike to get. Bloody hell, I don't know. Anyway, so the other day I gave up trying to get this thing for the gear indicator working, but I put a new gear sensor on it and it still didn't come up in the dash, and I read somewhere online you have to take it to the dealership to get it programmed. Well, I've got a machine here that actually does it, so I'll show you. I'll put the ignition on. Now I've got the gears working, and I'll show you. As you can see, it's in neutral there, up into second, third, I missed the gear, first, back up to neutral. Right, now I'll show you how I got that done. I've got this diagnostic machine. It's not the best, but it does the job. Now we'll have to go to KTM and press the button at number 1 and go down to Super Adventure S, 1290 Super Adventure S. Now I need to go to petrol injection, establish communication with the. Now the actuator or configuration, down to configuration, press that. Now there's an ECU reset, right? If I press that, that wipes everything out. A new gear sensor installation, you carry out this procedure, yes, setting. Okay, it's complete. Now, to get your gears to work, what you have to do is you have to actually start the bike, go down to gear sensor initialization, and I'll show you what I mean. Right, because I reset it, it's red wonky again. It thinks it's in first gear, so you have to gear sensor initialization. Okay. Please put the vehicle into neutral. neutral. It's showing you there. And there we go. Now, switch it off. Now I've noticed that it says it doesn't support it. That's because it tells you to put the bike in neutral, so you put it into neutral and then it relearns all the gears. How it does it I don't know, but it relearns all the gears. So you have to do that. So this machine does it. That machine was about $200 odd off I think it was Amazon, no, eBay it was. And it does all makes of bikes. It's quite handy. But I tried using that before to relearn the gears and it wouldn't do it. And then today I tried it and I thought, maybe you need the bike running. Started the bike up, made it relearn the gears and it did it. And now the gears are working, or I should say it shows the gears on the thing. I'll just disconnect this, just for 1 second. So there we are, seat back on, everything back on now. Kickstand's down. It wouldn't start with the kickstand down because it didn't know what gear it was in. So I'll just flicker on. There we go, neutral gear. Press the start button. Go through the gears. Kickstand down, doesn't cut out fixed, so there you go. So if you've had a problem with the gear sensor on the KTM and you've put a new one on and you need to reset it, this machine will do it. It does every other bike as well, you know, it does Yamaha, Suzuki, everything. I mean, doing a KTM is quite unusual. So if it can do a KTM, it'll do any bike. The box comes with all these different cables for all the different bikes. The only one it doesn't have is the round one for a BMW. But yeah, it has everything else. So I've got another machine coming. I treated myself to a different one. And I thought, you know, I'll be able to reset the gears with that, but however that one did it. So there you go. That's certainly different. Reset your gears. Right, I'll catch you later. Bye just now.